Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Jason, aka JaseDBZ. This is a tutorial on Pixelmon Competitive, how to build the best Pixelmon team, whether you play in a competitive sense or you just want to beat your friends on a server. This is going to help you a lot and going to teach you some brand new things that you might not actually know. Now, this is all based on competitive Pokemon as close as it can be in the Pixelmon game. Obviously, we can't completely copy the meta game of Pokemon because a lot of things don't actually work in here. But now that they've actually added abilities and breeding and so on and so forth, there is many things to consider, and this is pretty much the basics of foundations on how to build a team. Now, of course, I'm going to give you examples, but it's up to you to choose the team that you like, because considering that I like Pokemon, you might not like them as well. So just kind of base it on your own opinion of Pokemon that you like. Obviously, don't be trying stupid and I say a certain thing and you think, oh, I'm going to pick Pichu instead of like Jolteon or whatever. You know, pick the team that you know is going to be strong. Now, this does not include a legendary Pokemon, of course. You know, you can switch this up to legendaries if you get one. Whether you've got one legendary or a whole team, you know, still applies the same idea. Now, the concept is that you go with two Pokemon that you like. Now, like I said, don't pick Pokemon that you like, you know, Pichu, for example. If he was one of your favorite Pokemon, you're not going to pick him for your competitive team unless you want to lose. But I would say I like Jolteon, so I would pick him in my team right away. Now, I'll also add either Volcarona or Swampert. They're my two Pokemon I'm going to start off with. So, let's go into the PC, because we've got to explain this. Now, say I picked Jolteon, and I picked Volcarona. Now, these are known as special sweepers, or in Jolteon's case, a revenge killer. What this means is that they have a high special attack. So these are Pokemon, for example, that I would say are good. There's loads of other Pokemon you can use for special attackers. You know, any Pokemon that's got a really high special attack stat, such as like Alakazam, for example, and, you know, Espeon. You know, you can kind of tell yourself. Moves obviously being like, you know, Thunderbolt, Thunder, Flamethrower, Surf, Ice Beam, etc., Psychic. They are special moves, as you know. So these are your special attackers. These are good Pokemon to use, very powerful, but a lot of them have low defense. So we've got Pokemon called physical sweepers. Now, these Pokemon are high physical attacking Pokemon. Obviously, Lucario can be in both categories, but these Pokemon here are the ones I would say are really good. You've got Swampert, who can be a special attacker as well, but I like to run him as a physical attacker. Instead of using, you know, Surf, I'll use Waterfall. Of course, I'm going to have Earthquake on him as well. And you can also, you know, Machamp is very good. There's loads of physical attackers out there. These are just some of the ones I like to use that aren't, you know, the most common. Lucario is very much used, and, you know, this is just great ones to use. Now, another term to consider is Pokemon known as physical walls or special walls. These are Pokemon which have very high special defense or physical defense, which means they can be switched into and take a hit. Especially if your Pokemon, say, is a fire and he's weak to water, and you know he's going to use Surf, you're going to switch out and you're going to switch to, like, say, Snorlax, who's going to have a high special defense. And obviously, there's other Pokemon which have the opposite, which is Rhyperior, who's got a high physical defense. These are all things that you have to consider. There's also Pokemon such as Skarmory, Cloyster, and Fortress. There's others as well, which are known as hazard typing Pokemon. These Pokemon obviously have high defensive stats as well, but they are there to set up the field with moves such as Stealth, Rock, Spikes, Toxic Spikes, etc. These are very good to use as well. Now, of course, you cannot build a team purely on having a high special attackers. So if you say you were to use, you know, 6 special attackers, the chances are a lot of these Pokemon are going to have low physical defense, and Pokemon are going to clean sweep them if they do not have, you know, other Pokemon. So I would say 2 special attackers, 2 physical attackers, a physical or special wall, as well as a hazard Pokemon. These are very good to use, such as Skarmory has not many weaknesses and can set up the field, like I said, with Spikes. You can use Toxic Spikes, Stealth Rock, and Recover, and, you know, one physical move. We'll go into the website that I'm on just now. This is the Pixelmon mod wiki, like Wikipedia pretty much. This is the Pokemon go over. So this is my Jolteon, of course. Now we can see right here, like I said, he has a high special attack. He's got high speed, so he can be used as a revenge killer, which if your Pokemon dies, you switch off, say he comes out, he takes the kill off that Pokemon. So you're back to, you know, square terms on number of kills versus deaths of your Pokemon, because the objective obviously is to kill his team and not let your team die. So this is a very good Pokemon to use, but like I said, not the best physical defense. And of course he's weak to moves like Earthquake. Earthquake will absolutely destroy, you know, most electric Pokemon, and especially Jolteon, who's got a low physical defense. So of course I can't just run special attackers. Like I said, I do have to have physical attackers as well and physical defensive Pokemon. Volcarona, yet again, high special attack. He's even got a good special defense as well, as he's a semi-pseudo legendary, I believe. I don't think he's a pseudo legendary, but he is also a good speed as well. So he's obviously got a higher base stat than Jolteon, not by much. Jolteon's got quite high considering he's not legendary and only has pretty much one evolve from Eevee. Now, like I said, he's going to be a very good special attacker, but he's not a good physical attacker. So if he's fighting against a Pokemon who has a high special defense and a good physical attack, he can easily beat Volcarona. Now, Swampert, for example, has a really good attack. He's got really good defense as well for special defense. He's got all-round good stats. Not the best of speed. He's got good HP as well, so he can take a hit. And like I said, I make him my physical attacker. And then we've got Lucario. Now, he can be used for both, of course. He's a physical attacking Pokemon, plus a special attacking. His stats are really high for both. Decent defense for both stats here. Really good speed as well as having good HP. So, well, I'll show you in a second the Pokemon that I use and the moves I've got set up for them already. Like I said with Skarmory, yeah, again, really good defense. And he's got decent special defense, not the best, but still good. He's got good speed, and he's only really weak to electric and fire. And it's only ×2, so no ×4 weaknesses. Rhyperior, again, he can be called. They're called as a tank Pokemon that can take a lot of hits and dish out as well. He's obviously got a really bad special defense for a guy with such a high base stat. He's got low speed as well, so you know you're not going to really outspeed Pokemon. Even with Choice Scarf, I would not recommend it. I would probably make him a Choice Banded Pokemon so he gets that physical attack boost. But yeah, he's a really good Pokemon. He takes hits and he will dish out a lot of hits as well. Same with Aggron, really high defense, and he's got pretty good attack as well. Decent, you know, HP. Yet again, low on the special and attack and defense, but he's not known for that, and the speed's not the best either. Now this is just to show, you know, this is Skarmory's stats on PokemonDB.net, which is the website I use for information. Like I said, he's only got 2 weaknesses, fire and electric. Everyone else, not really well. They're not really going to take him out very well, and even then, electric moves and fire moves aren't going to do much when you can use moves such as Recover. Aggron again, very high defense, high attack, has slightly more weaknesses. You got ×4 to weakness of fighting and ground, and ×2 to water. But you know he's going to wreck fire Pokemon as well, because you know it's equal fight, and he's got high attack and defense, as well as electric Pokemon, grass, etc. He's not got the biggest of weaknesses, and he's a really tanky Pokemon. Now we'll go back onto Minecraft. Now I'll show you guys my team that I would like ruin people with. This is the one I use when I actually do competitive battling on my server. I'll put these into there. I don't use you, you're not the best. Okay, I sometimes do use Gigalith, so he's a good Pokemon to use. But my Pokemon team that I use would usually be this. Now, Gliscor I use as a really good physical defensive Pokemon and physical attacking, low in weakness, and Swampert is a very good Pokemon yet again. So you can see I've got my physical attackers there. I've got my hazard Pokemon. Now for my my 6th Pokemon, like I said, it kind of changes. It could be Aggron, it could be Rhyperior, it could be Snorlax. Blissey, if the moves were fixed, is a very good Pokemon. HP is ridiculously high if you EV train it, and special defense as well. Shuckle is all round good for defense, but I'll show you right now, without EV training, right, there you go. He's got the highest defensive stats in Pokemon, not just Pixelmon, but Pokemon itself. But his attack is just really not the best, and his HP isn't the best, but he does take a lot of hits, so you can use him to get hits. I would teach him moves such as, you know, Toxic, and you can start with Toxic on a Pokemon, and it's going to be a Pokemon you switch out to take, you know, a hit and not die. So he's really he's alright to use. I wouldn't use him necessarily in my team, but he can be used as a good wall Pokemon. Now, Pokemon I would probably go for my Snorlax. You know, he's a bit of a weird Pokemon, but you know it's good. So let's look at their moves. Now this is my team setup. Obviously I'd have leftovers as well on Snorlax. Swampert you can add different things, but I've got the held items to boost Jolteon. See, I've made him his nature as modest, which means he's got a higher 10% increase in special attack to like 100%, so it's 110% for special attack, and he's got like 90% for attack. It lowers that stat but increases this one. Now look at his moves. I've got special attacker moves. This is what I said. He is a special attacker. Now he's also choice spect, which means he gets 50% boost on special attack. So any moves I use, he does get locked onto it, but he's a special attacker, so I know I can switch out to one of my Pokemon. So say I get a kill on a Pokemon, a guy brings out say Swampert against me, or you know, a ground type Pokemon, I can switch to my Snorlax. Yet again, I do have Charcoal, so boosts his fire moves, but he is set up for special attack as well. These are all special attacking moves. Apart from, no, I think these are all special attacking moves. I believe. I think one of these moves is a physical move. I think it can be Fiery Dance. Now, like I said, I've set him up for being a physical attacker. He's got Earthquake and Waterfall. Yawn to put Pokemon to sleep, which is very good. And this is when he gets hit by a special attack, it deals double the damage, which is good to have on him. This is yet again one of my physical attackers. Sword Dance, very good, give you 2-stage increase of physical attack. You've got Earthquake, U-Turn, Thunder Fang, really good to use this. Yet again, Skarmory, like I said, absolute beast. You give him Roost, Stealth Rock, Toxic Spikes, and just Steel Wing, just so you can hit. You know, it can be any move you want, but make sure you don't set up a Pokemon to have, you know, non-stop, you know, attacks that are gonna just, you know, when people switch out. So I wouldn't give him Spikes, Toxic Spikes, and Stealth Rock plus Roost, because then he can't actually deal physical damage to the Pokemon he's fighting. And this, like I said, is a physical attacker, Snorlax. He's got Belly Drum, so obviously it takes away his HP, boosts his attack stages by 6, which makes him very, very, very powerful. You rest to get your HP up. I would have Snore, but it doesn't seem to work. Then, like I said, Crunch is a very good move, and Giga Impact as well. And then we're back to this. It's just an example of how to set up my team. That's the team I would use. Snorlax, like I said, changes out. And I've got other Pokemon I switch in between, so obviously people can't just set up to beat my team. I do have other Pokemon that I use. I've got about 11 Pokemon that I switch between just now until I come up with other ones. But hopefully, guys, this has explained a lot to you, and you've figured out some things to actually try out. And if you're getting beat by your friends and you're getting annoyed with it, this is going to be very helpful. Hopefully you did learn a lot of things. This has been a pretty lengthy video, but like I said, had to be done because a lot of people don't really know how to play Pokemon or Pixelmon, and this is just, you know, a rough basis on what to go by, and this should help you guys a lot. But like I said, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Remember, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Remember, stay over 9,000, just saying.